All right, just making sure everything is here. All right, so we live now.
Okay.
Where is my live? Okay, there go my live right there. So I'm on Facebook too. All right. Got you. Hey, what's going on? It's finally good to meet you, man.
Finally, we get a chance to meet,
Yeah.
chat, and talk.
Yeah, we've been doing phone tag, we've been actually,
Doing phone
trying to
tag,
catch up with each
phone
other.
conversation, phone meeting, but finally, face to face.
And at the end of the day, we still got some work done, and we still here right now.
Absolutely. And you made your meeting, right? You got your meeting in.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, the day was very a productive day. It was really
Okay,
good.
good.
So definitely. So for anybody that doesn't know, this is Dr. Love, right? And we have a lot to discuss about, talking about the dynamics of love, the work that he's doing, his entrepreneurial path. When we're looking at data, we actually looking at the people that's in our communities, the different leaders, the statistics that's out here, and the different change agents that's out here in the communities. We got to find out different niches, and explore, who we are, regardless of people believe in what we pursuing or not. We have to change our data from within ourselves and incorporate new things. And I think this is a great time, in society for actually, especially men of color, to actually, start taking control, of their path and actually what they're doing in the world and what type of legacies that they're going to actually be leaving behind. So I just want Dr. Love, this is actually Edward Johnson III, but we call him Dr. Love, to actually, talk about himself a little and let the audience know actually what he do and why he actually has this brilliant title, because this is a great concept to have. It's a great upliftment to see that men will view themselves in positive lights, and take claim to that. He had a little technical difficulty, but let me see. He dropped off. We gotta wait for him to come back in. I don't know what happened. Um, so my guest for some reason dropped off the call. I don't know where he's at. I'll try to get him back in here. Give me 1 second, guys. We got some brief technical difficulties. I don't know where that came from. Let's see what's happening. Oh, there you go. He's back. All right, he's back with us. He's back with us. Great. Yeah. So, like I said, just got to keep it moving, regardless of what happens. Whatever. Try to basically steal your joy or try to knock you off balance. You just got to just keep it moving. I think that's basically insight in this time here is to not get caught in any type of quicksand. I don't care what type of quicksand it is. Don't get caught in any of it. I don't care the name of it, where it came from, how long it's been around, how it attached itself to you. Move out of it, let it go. This is not the time to be holding on to anything. Right now, I think this is a time of detachment. A lot of things you got to be able to detach yourself from so you can actually have your inner joy, have your inner peace. And me and Dr. Love are going to talk about that. We're going to actually explore certain topics to see if people want to, come on board and ask them some questions. So the floor is yours for now. Just give people a spill about who you are, and what you stand for and why we're here.
Well, Brother Nate, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to come on and share and just talk about what I do. You're such a positive brother. I'm glad we connected on
Yeah,
LinkedIn.
definitely.
And we've
Yeah,
got
LinkedIn is a great platform. Yeah.
it's a great platform, man. Great people on there, great connections. Not saying anything about other platforms, but I just happen to really.
Yeah, that's true.
We're not putting down no other platform. We're just talking about LinkedIn, which is a great platform, and I'm excited because I am doing on Saturday, this Saturday, I'm doing an event that I'm really excited about. And the reason I'm so excited about it because my background is cosmetology. I did hair for over 30 years, and
Wow.
I work with women in the salon in my salon, and it was just, it's something happens when you work on a woman's hair and she gets to be comfortable with you and gain confidence in you. I mean, you name it, we talked about it from A to Z, and the number one topic was relationships. Okay,
Wow.
because
Wow.
we say it like this here. Uh, everyone wants to be loved. Someone said that to me one time. They said everyone wants to be loved, and my wife always gets on me for correcting people, but I just have to do it because when I heard that everyone wants to be loved, I have to correct it. Everyone needs to be loved. It's not a want. It's not. It's not just a want. It's a need. It's a
Yeah, it's a
human
need.
need. You know what I'm
It's like
saying?
an innate desire,
Yes.
because it's like air, water, food, it's a part of our
Love.
overall makeup. Yeah, it reconnects
Absolutely.
it because without that, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but without that love, you lose purpose. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, yeah,
It's back
that
onto
was
you. I
good.
didn't get to the questions yet.
That's good. No, you can no, jump in because that's good. That's good to if I trigger a point, you know what I'm saying, just jump in because we're gonna pass it back and forth like that. But love is a need, and when love is not being exchanged, because love, you know, someone said, "What is love?" And my best definition of love is a personality.
Mm,
It's something that when you embody it, something happens. And what happens is you begin to lose track of yourself and you begin to look out to help others. See, love does that. That's why I say it's a personality, it's a behavior, it shifts your thinking, it shifts what you do. It's a behavior that you just take on, and it's unselfish. Okay.
mm.
So when we start talking about that need, the human need for love, when you understand that if you don't get love, something dies in you. And we see that in our society today. When you look at young women, young men, the lady who was on the highway, and I think she was drinking, and the police let her go, and a little further down the road, she wound up hitting the two officers and killing them.
Mm.
And you know,
Wow.
love, see, love begins to help children understand that they're very much needed and that they're important and that there's a place for them. I was surprised to find, and we're talking about love, so we can go different places with it. But
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Move.
I was surprised to find out the alarming suicide rate of children. There was a walk in Philadelphia, and I happened to be down by the art museum, and it was just a big walk. Children advocates on reaching out to children, talking to children to really start to curb the numbers of children that commit suicide. I mean, I'm like scratching my head because I have 5 children, and they're hard headed, but they're alive and they're doing what
Yeah,
they need to do. But when you start talking
yeah,
about a child taking its life, you begin to say what was going on in that child's life that he thought that was necessary to take his own life.
yeah.
And the only
Like,
thing,
what is it? Just yeah, yeah. Good. I'll ask you after that.
it's like what's happening inside of the child, that he's that empty, that he's that void, that special someone is not there to cause him to know that he's meaningful, he's purpose, he's loved. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That was so
definitely. And
that was so interesting.
well, that's really interesting, and that's really profound because us as life sources. I always say that people look at me like, "What are you talking about?" Us as life sources and beings, it is our principle to bring forth life. and to bring forth life and to cherish the lives that we bring forth, right?
Yeah.
And if we basically negate, that principle, then what is the purpose of us? Like,
Yeah.
why are we here? What's the purpose of us actually, be able to bring forth a life, but not able to bring forth a life? Like, how do you do that? Like, how do you bring forth a life without basically bringing it forth? Because you have to basically nourish it. It's like
Yes.
plants. If you go get some plants, you just can't leave them there.
That's right.
You gotta put your hands in the soil. You gotta water it. You gotta
Yeah.
put it in the sun, right?
Yes.
So if we
Yes.
could if we could do these things with fruits and vegetables, so we could consume it, and in the animal kingdom, so we could eat them later on. Then how do we don't have the principle thought and that principle notion to cultivate life on a
That's right.
higher level, on a higher plane? And you said something, actually looking at statistics, like what would be to the statistics on children that's taking their lives within, say, in a year? Well, what those statistics look like?
Yes. Yes. What are the numbers? And it's alarming, and that's the reason Dr. Love is out here doing the work that he's doing. And my title is Edward Johnson III, aka also known as Dr. Love, but Dr. the Real Deal Love, because it's about giving women the real deal, the real deal. And by that,
Mm,
we talked about children and we talked about the alarming rate. But now here's the reason I brought that up. Because the number one relationship in the world is man and woman. That's the number one. All relationships stems from that one. When a
that's
man
right.
and woman come, when a man and woman comes together, now we're talking about children, aunts, uncles, niece, nephew, grandmother, grandfather, aunts,
Mm.
uncles, cousins. You understand what I'm saying? From just
Yeah,
that
yeah. You talking
one
about lineage?
relationship. You,
You
you, you
talking about
understand what I'm saying?
lineage? Yeah,
Lineage.
you talking about that lineage?
Everything,
Yeah.
every relationship comes from that relationship. So that's why when we were talking about the children that come here and are not nurtured and cared for, like you said, and the weeds pulled away from them and them to be built up, it falls on mom and dads because that's their first line of defense. That's the relationship that nurtures that child. Okay, so I teach it like this here. I said the male and female coming together is the number one relationship. But now the most important relationship in the world is your relationship with yourself. Okay? The number one relationship, which is male and female coming together, that's number one. All relationships stem from that one. But the most important relationship in the world is your relationship with yourself. How do you relate to yourself? What is your
Mm.
relationship with yourself? You'd be surprised,
Yeah.
you ask people, do you love yourself? Do you like yourself? You would be surprised and amazed at people that really don't love themselves. They don't really like
Yeah. That's
themselves.
Yeah, because I've been seeing that, a lot too. Even amongst adults right now, suicide rate is super high, and it's a lot of people dealing with the outside experience, like they're viewing their lives from external aspects. They're not seeing the internal and how everything that's external has been developed for the internal. We
Hmm.
forget that one little principle, that we create all these things that we worship, all these things that dominate our lives and take space in our lives, whether it might be houses, cars, or any type of substance that you actually create.
Hmm.
We created those things. Anything that brings power, come into our lives as a power source, as a power energy, is something that we actually brought into our lives by creating it. You don't have to personally create it, but someone in humanity created that, which is also an
That's right.
extension of you, whether you believe it or not. Everyone is an extension of one another. We all consuming the things that one another create. So, say for instance, if we focus on right now, they having issues with racism, right? And it's
Mm,
actually becoming very detrimental for society because people run around with AK-47s and other type of assault rifles, and they're able to create their own type of weapons and stuff like that to basically enforce their hatred in the land against their own humanity. Right at the end of the
mm,
day, if you go out there and you kill a life, you also killing you. You are also a life force, right? And do you know how you became a life force? Do you know how long you've been a life force? Would you
mm,
actually, you might have this might have been your second time or your fifth time here for you to get it
mm,
right. And now you come down here and you create this mass murder and you lose the principle of life for you to be able to continue because you ain't appreciated by
mm,
basically destroying lives. You know what I'm saying? That you had no basic input in creating. They just here. They here. They would probably be here before you. You know, the
yes.
incident we just had, the 18-year-old man, he went around and killed 10 people or whatever that he doesn't know because he said that they have a different skin tone than he has, right?
Yes.
And he went out there seeking to bring forth this different harm. And society want to focus and say racism, 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 but it's deeper than that. You know, these are individuals that have lost respect for life itself. They want to use other venues and other purposes to push forth their agenda, but they
Mm,
actually their agenda is that they actually lost life within themselves. So regardless of what punishment that you bestow upon them, you give them a death penalty, you give them life in prison, they actually extinguish their own lives unless they do some serious repentance, what I mean, and bring forth some serious changes in the land for the act of violence and an act of life lost by their
mm,
hands.
yeah. And,
So
that's so important because, I mean, you just hit on a key point when you talked about external, internal. And, if you can take away anything tonight, those who are tuning in or who will listen to this on the replay, is the world within governs the world without. There's no way around it. The world within. Everything you see in the world around you came from the world within. The planes, the cars, everything is created from the world within. But see, it's the world within. See, no one can see that. No one has ever gone inside and looked at what's happening inside of you, what's going on in your inner world. And that's the reason it's important for us to become aware and sensitive to what's really happening inside of people. That's the reason I'm working on relationships. How are
that's
you
right.
relating? How are you relating one to yourself and to those that are around you?
That's
Okay.
correct.
That that that
That's
that is
correct.
so important. I just started a program in March. One of my mentors was being interviewed, and they asked him. They said, what do you need to work on, and what do you need to go and develop? Because he's a master. He's accomplished so much. And they said, and they just asked him, what do you do when you get angry? What do you do when you get angry? You know what he said, Nate? He said, I don't get angry.
Mm.
He said it's a waste of energy. It's a waste of time. Why get angry? When he said that, I was like, whoa, whoa. March the 1st, I put that down on my list. I don't get angry.
Mm.
I don't get angry. I don't get angry. When
That's
I
a
see something or
I would
somebody
say
does
that's a
something to
very
me,
essential tool.
you know, I don't get angry. Why? Because believe it or not, people are doing the best they can with what they have. Okay.
That's
And when you
true.
start
There is no
understanding
utopia.
when you start understanding the world within, those people who are troubled, who are angry, who are bitter, who are violent, who are stealing, who are killing, all those people, something inside of them, their psyche, their philosophy, their internal programming has been created by a negative view, a negative source, a negative energy. And I and
Yeah,
I
so
can't
it's
get
like, yeah.
I can't get angry I can't get angry because of something that happened in your world. I've got to be understanding. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, you have to be able to see how individuals will bring energy to you that doesn't belong to you, right?
That's
And
good.
once you accept that energy, you basically susceptible to whatever way they want to shift you, right?
Yes.
They'll have you in all type of weird situations. You'll be making decisions that you never made. You'll commit an act that you never committed. I I read an article a couple of days ago. It was really disturbing. A young man, a black man, and a black woman. They was in Starbucks, and they was ordering coffee. And the woman in front of him said to him, "Why are you so close to me?" And he's like, "I'm not even close to you. Like, I'm actually waiting online so I can get my coffee, and I go back to work." And she said, "Yeah, and I seen you looking at my body and stuff." And he's like, "How you seen me look at your body if you're in front of me? You can't see behind you. How was you able to do that?" "No, I know you was doing it. I know you was looking at me." And the man, he was like, "Yo, I don't have no problem with you, miss." And she left out the store, and then he left out the store. Unbeknownst to him, she had went and told her boyfriend that, he was on her body, he was coming on to her and stuff like that. And the boyfriend took her energy and walked into the guy and shot the guy in the chest and killed him in broad daylight, right? And that was just an eye opener to see like the power that an individual, it don't matter if it's a man or a woman,
Yeah. That that that
the situation.
that
They actually just come to you and tell you some and cause you to take a life, but also take your own life. We
yes.
have laws in this land that would take your life away from you, you know, and people don't realize it because I'm part of statistics, the data of being incarcerated for long periods of time.
Mm.
And I was in one of these spaces and it was, you ever seen like a individual that just radiates positive energy? Like when every time you come around and you're like, man, I can't get enough of this person. This person is awesome, man. This person energy is
Yes.
outstanding,
Yes.
right? And I remember me being in Eastern Correctional Facility. It had to be like 2004 or 2005, and I had like 2 years left to go home. So I was really, I was really jubilant. I was like, yeah, I'm about to get up out of here. I just did 11. I just did nine years. I'm ready to go home. And it was this Spanish guy that, man, we wearing greens. He, the way he dressed, the way he carried himself, you didn't even see the greens. Like, you didn't even see the green outfit. You just saw him. You saw his energy, his personality. That purpose. You
Mm.
know, and everybody in the jail loved him, man. And a lot of us we didn't even know his name. He was just there. We just saw him.
Mm.
And one day, the whole jail went silent. The man hung up and killed himself. We couldn't believe it. The
Unbelievable.
whole the whole jail, we just started crying. People started praying for him, and we were just perplexed. Because it was like, how this man with all this energy and all this power just take his life like that? Like, you know, he gave people hope. You know what I mean? He gave people faith in humanity, even though they was in dark spaces.
Mm.
And he didn't realize that. And when we found the backstory, we was like, this is horrible, man. The story was basically his best friend, that was in the streets, whatever, was bringing up his baby mother up with his child. And the best friend turned around and started messing with the woman. And the woman told the guy that she didn't want to be him no more because she's messing with his best friend. And that
Mm.
actually caused him to, take his life.
Yeah.
And I just say that, that it's imperative to protect your energy in this time. Whatever time we go in, it could be 10 years from now. Protect your energy now until you no longer have to protect your energy for the most high can move you forward. Like, don't allow the things that's happening to us in these times to actually strip us, you know what I mean, of who we are and what we are destined to become. Because many of us, we don't understand that we have a greatness that we have to achieve, but there's so many different external obstacles, external realities that it's hard for us to get to the core of us because we have to fight through all these makeshift structures that have been created by other beings before us. I tell people all the time, listen, some things that's created here, they were created before I got here. So at the end of the day, they really don't have that much of a purpose to me because I didn't create these laws. I didn't create this slave trade that y'all created. I didn't create all these different things that y'all have brought into the land. I didn't even help y'all create guns and knives or anything of that nature. So I'm not gonna take on the personality of whoever created these things. Whoever who I don't know why you created them. You know what I mean? I know they created, and in some things I see they have no purpose to be created other than the fact to take away a life force that you don't even understand about your own self.
Yeah, and that's I love the way you put that when you said the energy you take on. The energy people bring you, you don't really have to take on that energy. You know what I'm saying? That's just an excellent way to put it because people do come with negative energy. You know,
Yeah,
some people are having a bad day, you know,
that's right.
and
That's right.
we talk about that all the time. I can't allow you to shift me. See, that's the thing. I can't allow you to shift me. See, I'm here, I'm having a good day, I'm doing what I need to do. You're not having a good day, or you say something to me. It happens all the time. If you go to a store or if you go to an event and you say something to something, and people will try to shift you,
That's right.
and you've got to remember, I can't be shifted. I can understand that you may be in a space and I'm going to have to deal with it and make adjustments so that I don't buy in to the negative energy that you're into, because for me, love is the answer. Love is the answer. That's the solution. Is love is the answer. And what is love? Love starts with yourself. You've got to start at home. You know what I'm saying? And that
Mm.
and we're dealing with one of the main things that I saw in myself, and most of us have to deal with this, is the self-sabotaging behavior. We self-sabotage, and I can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
I look back on some of the years of my life, and I mean, it's like, I would say it like this, Brother Nate. Sometime it would be like, I'm not comfortable unless I put myself behind the eight ball. You know what I'm saying? I would do something, you know what I'm saying, to put myself
Mm-hmm.
behind the eight ball, and now I'm behind the eight ball, and I'm complaining because I'm behind the eight ball, but I was the chief person that put myself behind the eight ball.
The eight ball. That's a fact. I was doing a presentation one time, and there was a white guy. He. When I was in the presentation, he said, "Oh my God." And he screamed out. And I was like, what's going on? He said, now understand why I keep finding myself in the same situation. He said, I came to the notion that I don't deserve to be happy. I don't deserve to have these things that I have. Every time I have a blessing, I squander it. I throw it away. I give it away. I do some weird stuff to make sure it gets snatched away from me because I don't have that inner purpose to know and understand that I have value, right? I have meaning. And the things that's given to me, they are blessings to me. They're not curses, they are blessings to me.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, from this day forth, man, I'm never doing that to me myself again. I'm going to protect myself from this day forth, and I'm not going to allow anything to shift the dynamics of who I am,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think that's something that a lot of us can actually learn from in this time on how it is that, I'm a data. How is it that we allow other beings or other issues to come and strip away our true source, our true energy?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you can find yourself, and I've been there, you find yourself in some very dark places, right? But if you look back, like you just said, Dr. Love, you'll see that you put yourself in those places.
Mm.
That
Yeah.
you actually shift the dynamics of your own life and allow yourself to go into an unfamiliar space. But while you're there, you don't want to be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got an issue. You got an issue with you being there. You know, you're speaking against yourself for being there. And you're not learning why you actually put yourself there, which is the reason why it continues to basically overwhelm you to the point where you'll jump off a roof, or you'll kill a cop knowing that they're gonna give you life in prison, or the death penalty and things of that nature. You harm your children. I've seen people now, they adults was harming their children, they taking their children's lives,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when you forget about the value of life, you forget about your own substance,
That's right.
your
That's right.
own statistics of what you are. You are life, right? They
That's
could
right.
call you whatever they want to call you. They could call you white, black, indifferent, Chinese, Russian, Ukrainian, whatever concept you want to come up with, have at it. You know what I'm saying? You could come up with any syllable you want to come up with to describe something. But at the end of the day, you are a life force.
That's right.
And what life force actually knows how they actually got here?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Like, which life force was actually talking to the Most High and say, "Yo, listen, bro, it's time for me to come down. Make sure I'm on schedule. And make sure I beat the other, possibly 1 million other seeds that's coming behind me. Make sure I beat them to the egg. You know what I'm saying? So I can have purpose on life. And then when I get here, I don't want to have no purpose for life. I'm actually gonna, I'm gonna sell drugs. I'm gonna kill people. You know, and I'm gonna do prostitutions. I'm gonna do all type of weird things to go against life, so I can have a substance that society says I'm supposed to have in order for me to have a purpose in the society.
Mm-hmm.
These things that I see are illusions to your existence. I look at them a lot of times as traps.
Mm-hmm.
You find these things that you say you love, that you say you care about, that you want to consume, and then it traps you.
Mm-hmm.
And what traps release itself?
Mm-hmm.
There's no trap that's gonna release itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna stay there as long as you allow it to stay there. Until you realize that you stepped into a trap and that you got to be the one to pry yourself out of that trap, it's gonna stay there indefinitely. And no matter how far you fall, it's not gonna release you.
Mm-hmm.
It's never gonna say, "Oh, he had enough, she had enough." No, it's gonna keep bombarding you. It's gonna keep wearing you down until what happens to you? You have no more life source.
Mm-hmm.
So all these things I see that come at your life source is to come at your life source. It's to move you out of the way so you won't get to the full blessings and purposes of who you are and why you was actually created in the first place. I wasn't created to wear Prada. I don't care about Prada. I wasn't here to wear Gucci. I wasn't here to drive in your Tesla, right? I wasn't here to basically live in your makeshift houses. Your house is not made of gold and silver and diamond, you know. It's made of plastic. It's made of wood. You know what I'm saying? And dust, right? You take dust and you compact it, and then you build a structure with it. You know what I mean? It's not for you to take on as if this is my purpose.
Mm-hmm. And I was thinking while you were talking, most people, if you was to ask the question, "Who are you?" A lot of people would give you their name. I asked the gentleman, I said, "Do you know who you are?" He said, "Yes, I am Omar." I said, "Omar," I said, "that's not who you are, that's your name." He said to me, I said, "Who are you?" He said, "An African American male." I said, "That's not who you are, that's the origin of the land that you came from. That's the origin." I said, "Who are you?" And to make a long story short, he really didn't know who he was. And I subscribe to really sharing with people, we are spirit beings. You see,
Yeah, life forces.
once you begin to understand spirit being, you begin to understand there are spiritual principles that govern this spirit, this being that you can't see. You can see my body, but you can't see me. See, I am not this body. You
That's right.
see?
You're not. You're not.
See,
You're
so
not.
when you so when you get trapped in that thinking that I am my body, everything is here, this governs everything, you're at a loss because it's really spiritual principles that govern everything. And we were talking about that when we just talked about the
Yeah.
world within, the world
That's
without.
right. That's right. That's right. Because you would limit your full possibilities,
You're
right? Yeah,
limited.
you're spiritual, but you're also physical, so you're able to dip and dab in both. But if
Yeah.
you actually turn around and be like, I'm just straight physical, I'm just a monster, I'm just a beast, right? Then the spiritual elements of who you are will never come to fruition. It was a young man I ran into, and I seen his whole spirit, was basically like gone, but he had a child and everything in the land, and he identified with being a blood, and he was harming other men severely, fatally, under the instructions of other men. And I told him, I said, you can't sacrifice your being for others. No man should be able to dictate to you what you should and should do with your
That's right.
being, especially if he gonna tell you to take somebody else's life or beat somebody up or do any type of unthinkable harm to another being.
Yeah.
That is why your spirit is the way your spirit is right now, and this is why you're not able to bring yourself to a higher plane,
Yes.
because the diminishing, you diminish the aspects of you by allowing someone else to have ultimate power over you because they said that they're head of a game,
Yes.
because they say they're president of this, or they say they're this title or that title, and you got to realize that you have your own title.
Mm-hmm.
You have an innate title that nobody else knows about.
That's right.
You have an innate purpose that nobody knows about, and you don't even know about it, right? So that means it's time for you to tap in and see what that's all about, and
Yes.
don't be afraid to come to your full fruition. Because I know on my path, of being a Hebrew Israelite and studying different doctrines of different men and different women, that many people would say that, oh, I don't like who you becoming. You're no longer thinking criminal thoughts. You no longer want to take somebody else's life, or you're not going to go out there and rob somebody to take care of your family. You're not going to do these things anymore. We're used to you doing these type of things, and
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden you just shift the whole dynamic, and now we at a loss about who you are. You never really knew who I was in the beginning. Even when I was in a lifestyle, you never knew who I was then either,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so we give people too much credit to think that they're gonna know who we are. They're gonna
Mm-hmm.
understand the substance of who we are. No one's gonna be able to see that. No one's gonna be able to claim you. Even if somebody had you do something, they could never really claim the true essence of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And you can lose that by allowing another to come and strip you of your core.
Mm-hmm. And
You know,
that's such a good point when you said people don't know who you are, and that's the reason I go back to that not getting angry because people didn't know who you are, but that's really not the problem. The problem is you didn't even know
that's
who you
right.
were. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
See,
That's right.
so when you become enlightened to begin to know who you are, what you are, and that what you can accomplish is unlimited. It's unlimited. See, that's why we've got to do the work we've got to do. We've got to reach people, both
Yeah.
male and female, because when a man loses his handle on himself,
Ooh,
see, that's where the rubber
that's
meets the road.
different. That's
You know what
something
I'm saying?
different, man. That's cut different. You don't really want to see that cut, man. You don't really want to see the cut when a man loses his purpose, when he loses his insight for who he is. He actually returns animalistic. He would do
Yeah.
things that animals would do, And you would never think that we would actually be able to succumb to that type of level.
That's right.
Right. And that's, you see this homelessness that's out here now. It's really rampant, especially in New York City. It has taken on a whole different persona. I can go into certain communities and I can say this is a homeless community. They're going to be 1,000 homeless people on the corner when I get off the train, when I get off the bus. And every time I go there, I'm 100% correct. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, let me be surprised one day and go out there and I don't see that. But for years, after year, I've actually been able to experience certain communities that identify with being homeless and you sleep on the streets, the stench that come off of them, the drugs that you can see that's visibly on a person is basically like a spirit. You can see that you can see that spirit that's on them, and it basically have overtaken them. And that's one thing that I believe that we shouldn't want to see in our society. And if we do see those things, we bring about words of encouragement. We actually attack those things with purpose. You need some sneakers, you need a jacket, you need a hat, you need somewhere to sleep, you need some water, some food. So we can actually try to shift the dynamic of whatever actually overcame that individual, because if it's that strong, it could also come against us. So that's why when you go into these spaces and you see these men and women, you don't denounce them, but you have to protect your spirit. You have to put that veil, over you to ensure that even though you're helping these individuals, they don't come and take your substance from you, so you will be able to go out there and help others. You always remember that you have to be able to be in a position to continue to be who you are, but also be able to extend who you are to others, as many as possible. And don't let one individual or one circumstance or one purpose take away your blessing that you're able to reach other people and increase the lives of other people.
Yeah, and that's so important. One of the things that I like that the Bible shares, it talks about my cup runneth over. And I like a cup running over, because once a cup runs over, the first thing is that it's full.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
full. Okay.
That's right.
The second component is I don't go get another cup to catch what's running out of the first cup. I let the cup overflow so those around me can get some of
That's
the
right.
overflow. You see?
Oh yeah, because I'm a nourisher. I'm nourishing the land, right? I'm bringing forth life in abundance, and I don't care who it touch. I had to do a podcast the other day, a quick podcast, because I was so taken aback by an issue that I actually ran across 2 days ago. I was in this meeting with some brothers I'm actually helping. The brother creates leather designs. He creates hats and jackets and different things. He's really good. He's doing like a training class for youth to understand how to master that trade, how to master that skill. So our children can have some transferable skills and they won't have to worry about being homeless or being in unfamiliar spaces.
Yes.
But anyway, it was a woman that came on the conference, and she had told my partner that she's going to help him create this organization. She's going to do the grant form and stuff like that. And whatever he needs from her, she's going to assist him. So he introduced me to the platform because I'm a partner with him in the organization. So the woman was basically speaking about how she has access to money. The money is free. You don't have to pay the money back. There's no obligations to the money. And there's no audit or anything about the money, or they're going to come back and ask you what happened to the money. The money is just basically free. All you got to do is produce an EIN number, and they will actually give you the money for free, and there are no obligations to it. So I asked her, I said, well, I have an EIN number for a nonprofit. Will you assist me with doing that? And she said, I'm not going to assist you with anything because I don't know you. I don't know who you are. I don't know this and that. And I'm just taken aback because I'm saying, okay, well, I'm on this productive meeting. You invited us. You actually said you're going to help this structure, right? And when I asked you for the assistance that you said was free from the government, it was free. It's not coming from you. It's free substance that's coming from the government to help people in these times create different systems that's going to protect our lives. And her response to me is, I don't know who you are. And she was very adamant about her not knowing me, and things of that nature, to the point where I said, you know what, okay, sister, I see that we have to know each other to assist each other in the land. And that's not a notion that I take on. I don't need to know a person in the land to assist them. I don't need to know you. If you call me and say, yo, man, I'm having trouble, I ain't got no money, I need you to create an ad for me, I'm going to go on my computer, I'm going to create the ad, and I'm going to send you the ad. That's it. We're not going to be calling you all day, yo, you got money for me, here go an invoice. We're not going to do any of those things, right? I want to give you this gift because I have the ability to give you this gift. That's why I'm going to give you this gift, because I have the ability to give it. Now, if you have the ability to give me a gift, then please share it. But don't say that you don't know who we are. You know who we are. We are beings in the land. We are life forces. And we are actually challenging our oppressive system, our oppressive capitalistic system that's out here, that's trying to rob us of our right to live, of our right to flourish and move forward. So when you see beings that's out here that's striving to make differences in the world, you don't stand in their way by saying, I don't know who you are. Get to know who these individuals are so you can assist them moving forward. You don't put up a block before you get to where you got to go, right? Or how you assist other people. In the Bible, it talks about the angels coming to well-off men and women, presenting themselves and saying, listen, I'm hungry, man. I need something to drink. And the individual said, man, I'm not giving you nothing to drink, and I'm not giving you nothing to eat because I don't know you. And then the angel go back to the Most High and report against you, saying that, yeah, you gave him all this abundance, and he couldn't give me a piece of meat. Yes. He wouldn't even share any of his water out the well.
Yes.
Right? And people got to be careful on how things come to them, because you think you see me all the time. You don't realize the Most High might hit me with a spirit that's like I'm an angel to come to you and ask you something to see if you assist me. And if you don't, he'll be like, all right, let me shift the dynamics of this individual. Be very careful on how you basically refrain from that love and embrace that has been given to you. If you have been given 1,000 blessings, don't hinder a person from one blessing. Understand that you are in this position because the Most High put you in this position, and it's for you to increase others as you yourself seek to be increased. So I was really taken aback behind that. I looked at it in a way where we don't always know our gifts and our purposes. And even when we're moving and striving in a spiritual element, we still allow the physical to tap in and to shift us out of our dynamics and take away blessings from us that if we'd have passed this test, it'd have made us stronger. It'd have made us more wiser. We'd have been more knowledgeable about the situation, and we'd be able to do greater things by accepting these blessings that come to us, and basically giving them out.
Yeah. And those are the things that that I really subscribe to when it comes down to the years I lived in learning. I have found out when it comes down to who you really are, to really know who you really are, and then to know what to do with yourself.
That's right.
Those are two components: to know who you are, and then to know what to do with yourself. See,
those priceless things.
If you don't know what to do with yourself, then you're subject to do anything. Just all kinds of things, because you really don't know what to do with yourself. Okay,
that's right.
And that's why, and that's why I was just sharing that, is because the success that I've arrived at, the insight that I have, I realized I study every day. I was with I was in an organization and whatnot, and it was important to study every day. And if you are a positive person, if you are an uplifting person, if you're a servant, see, I'm a servant. I serve others. You know what I'm saying? I study. I study to make sure I see myself in the reality that I am.
That's
You
right.
see,
That's right.
the, the reality
That's
that
right.
I am. You know, I study every day. I read something. I'll read something out of the Bible. I'll have a book. I'll read something out of Think and Grow Rich. I read things in order to continue to create and build and sustain the man that I am, so that as we talked about earlier, you can't shift me.
Yeah.
You see
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
That's
You
right.
can't shift me because every day I eat and study the spiritual food that I need to, you know what I'm saying? So it fortifies not my natural man, but me
That's right.
spiritually.
My
You know,
spiritual man. That's correct.
you see what I'm
That's
saying?
correct. And that one principle right there will basically save your life in all type of storms that's gonna come. Because the Most High says, store up your wealth. You know what I mean? 7, maybe even 8 places. Your wealth is in here. This is your wealth, right? You store your wealth up. You build yourself up. You build your character up, your integrity. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Your charity. You know what I'm saying? Your purpose. This is your wealth. Store
Yes.
this up. Forget about all those things, but those things don't mean anything. Those things came from the blessings that you have already instilled within yourself, and it just basically translated into a physical form. Don't
Mm-hmm.
think that there's something greater than what it is. It's not. It's you being translated to live a certain life or to have certain things of abundance, but at the same time, those things can also be traps. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Some things are given to you just to see what's going to happen to you and how you're going to actually deal with those things. You
Mm-hmm.
might get power to be in control of 1,000 women, but then you start violating the women. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But you had a power to cultivate them, to build them up, and to bring them to another plateau. But instead, you took advantage of that power. And the next thing you know, nobody sees you anymore because the Most High moved you out the way, or the
Mm-hmm.
universe moved you out the way. Regardless of whatever you believe in, you'll get moved out the way because you're not seeing your inner purpose and how it translates into a physical reality.
Mm-hmm. And,
You
and that
know,
and that's so key. And I was just looking at my children, and I was, we go back and forth because, my children. I said that the other day. It was around Mother's Day. I was saying my children, they don't know it, and I told them that. I said, y'all made me the man that I am because my children, they respect me, they appreciate me, they saw how I worked. You know what I'm saying? you know all my all my children are with one woman. It's with my wife. We're family, and they appreciate it. They appreciate me. And what I was sharing and what I gleaned from my children, and this is the one thing that children ask, adults ask, lovers ask, uh, friends ask, and the word is trust. Trust is the fundamental ingredient in every relationship.
that's right.
Trust is
Trust
the fundamental ingredient,
is
and
essential.
the reason I said that is because, my children, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? You know what I'm saying? And the question that children are asking is, can I trust you with my life? See, you're governing, you're watching over, you're guiding, you're nurturing, you're directing a life. Children are saying, can I trust you with my life? See, in a relationship, my wife is asking me, can I trust you with my
That's
love
right.
and my
That's
life?
good. And my life. That's correct because
And my
you
life.
know I gotta sleep next to you. You might jump on one day and start beating me up while I'm sleeping. So I gotta be able to have I need to know that I'm safe.
I'm
You know what I mean?
safe.
And that no harm is gonna come to me, and that you're gonna cultivate me. You're gonna magnify me. You're gonna increase me. You know what I mean? You're gonna comfort me. You know what I mean? Because I need all these elements. I don't just need one element.
Yeah.
I need all these elements. You call me macho, but there's some feminist things I need also in my life. I want to get my feet done. I want to get my nails done. You know, I want to get pampered up. You know, I want a full body massage. I want those things too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I want to sing in the shower. I want to do all the different things that other people are doing. You know what I mean? So I can embrace the full element of my life. I don't want to leave nothing out of my life. These things are here for me to embrace and for me to experience. I want to experience those things. I don't want to get to a point where I I'm in a space where I didn't experience the things I want to do for my life. So now I have to test my life.
That's right.
You know, I wish I was this other person. I wish I had what this other person had. You know, and I don't want to get to that point where I'm gonna strip myself of my life source before I even get there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That,
saying?
yeah. And
You know, I'm
that's important, you know, and you used a very powerful word when we talk about life. You know what I'm saying? The Bible speaks about that. I come that you may have life, you know, and I like the beginning of it because it talks about the thief comes to kill, steal, and destroy, but I've come that you may have life. See, uh, life is to be lived, and like we talked about,
mm,
I don't put the material stuff down, you know what I'm saying? Because we need the material stuff, we need the money, but it's not to be served. Money is not a god. You know,
that's correct.
money never made the man. You know what I'm saying?
Never, never.
Money can't buy integrity. You know what I'm saying? Money cannot buy trust. It's like, you know, there's certain things that you've got to understand. Money serves its place and it serves its purpose at the place and time that it's supposed to, but that's all it does.
That's all it does. It
You know what
does
I'm
nothing
saying?
else.
And it does nothing
You
else.
get, yeah, you get.
The other half of it is what do you the life that you bring into it, the money that is entrusted to me. It's how I use it, how I circulate it to benefit myself and others in the
Around me.
world. You
That's
know what I'm
right.
saying?
Others in the
So
world.
important.
That's right. Yeah, because my gift is also your gift, right?
Yes,
And your gift has to also become my gift as well because now we have to cultivate each other. I always tell people simple things. I say, what's one thing that let us know that we have to cultivate each other? And people are like, I don't know. So I said, well, we all got backs,
that's
right?
right.
And you need others to look out for you because you got a back. You can't see behind you. Somebody got to say, watch out. You know how many
Yeah,
times you might have got hit by a car with some person that say, watch out?
yeah.
Many times. You know what I'm saying? So don't take on the purpose that you're all being, you omnipresent. Like
Yeah.
you in control of everything and all
Right,
things
right,
in your
right.
life. No, no, you're not. No, you're not. There are
Yeah,
other forces in the world that will save your life. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Other life forces that save your life. You know what I mean? You'll be appreciative of it if you see life, you know what I mean, to be preserved and to be protected. You know what I
Mm,
mean? You don't just give away a life. And I had to learn that, you know what I mean, through my younger years on preserving my life and not just squandering it and just giving it away and making it seem like it has no purpose. It
that's right.
has a sound purpose. It has a purpose that's greater than you. You just don't realize it. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Your purpose is not to remove your life out of the way because you can't pay your light bill, your gas bill, your rent, because you're depressed, because you got anxiety. No, that's not the purpose of your life. Those things are external aspects. You may allow them to resonate within you, but at the end of the day, they all external.
mm,
If a man never broke down the word depression to you, you would never come with the word depression.
that's right.
If they didn't create the word anxiety, you would never come with the concept or the word of anxiety. Right? If they didn't mention the word stress and put the word stress in the dictionary, you would never think about the word stress.
Is it?
You would never even take on that persona to you. So sometimes, and I see now, you have to unlearn things that take away our love from ourselves.
That's powerful. That's true. That's true. Unlearn
And yeah,
and you know, and I had to. That's something that I had to unlearn, and you might have dealt with this too. Is as a young man, I wanted to be an island. I don't need I don't need nobody. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't need you. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be
yeah.
an island. You know what I'm saying? But as I started growing and developing, you know, and I teach this in my book, you know, our early stages of life when we come here, we're dependent. You know, we're babies. We depend on somebody to feed us, to change our diaper. We don't even have sense enough not to poop on ourselves. We still peeing
That's
on
right.
ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
That's correct.
And then we depend on mom or dad to change us. You know what I'm saying? And then you grow and develop, and you get to the point where you say, "Listen, I can go to the bathroom
By
and wipe
myself.
myself. I'm independent." You know what I'm saying?
That's
But the
correct.
but the third step is the most important, because when you go through dependence, independence, the third step is interdependent. And we are all interdependent on each other. It's no
That's
big
correct.
I and no little
No,
you.
no,
You know what
there's
I'm saying?
not. There's really not. There's really not.
I need you like you need me. And you just mentioned it earlier when you talked about our gifts. And I didn't realize this until one of my mentors shared this with me. He said, your gift is not for you. Your gift is for someone else. See, my gifts is for you to edify and uplift you. Your gifts is for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't need
That's a
my gift.
fact.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. And this happened to me personally. You will have gifts about you that you don't even see that somebody else will see, right? And I remember I went to this conference, and I went there, and one of my supervisors, we were just standing, we was talking, and someone said, "Look across the room." So I looked all the way across the room. It was a really big space, and I locked eyes with this woman, and she saw me, and then she just out of nowhere, I'm telling you, we was in a conference. She started running, physically running towards me. I never met this woman a day in my life. I never met her. I don't know her anything. I never heard about her anything. She ran up on me, and she said, "Excuse me, sir." And I was like, "Yeah, what's going on, sister?" She said, "The spirit told me that you're going to help me with my issue." And I said, "Let's bring it. What's your issue?" And she was building a program for women that was coming out of prison. She needed a layout. She needed a concept for it. We sat there and talked about 20 minutes or half an hour. I gave her different concepts, wrote certain things out for her, certain phrases. And then she said, "I knew the spirit was right. I knew it said you was going to help me, and you did." And she walked away. And I never saw her again in my life.
Yes. And that,
Right?
and
That's
that's
your gift.
that that's the thing. And if someone's listening to the podcast, as you're listening, I want to share one thing with you, and that's this: open your gifts.
That's right. That's right.
Open your gifts.
Yeah. Open
All of
them,
us,
man.
all of us have been given gifts. There's no one that ever set foot on this planet and has not been given one, two, three, several gifts,
That's
but
right.
we've never
That's right.
taken the time to open our gifts. You know what I'm saying? When you look at great basketball players, you look at great writers, you look at, Oprah Winfrey. My mind just flashed back on Oprah Winfrey, who just came through as just an anchor woman. Oprah Winfrey didn't know that she was going to the place that she was going,
That's correct.
but
That's
she
correct.
opened her gifts.
Gifts, and they allow the universe to open up with her and to
Exactly.
take us to places that she would never imagine.
That she would
Right?
never.
We have to let go. Is a colleague of mine, Glenn Martin. I really like this guy, and he said something the other day about don't anchor yourself to things, man. Like, don't lock yourself in to one particular thing. Like, this I'm supposed to have this, I'm supposed to have that. He said, "Listen, man, lift the anchor up and shift. It's time to go somewhere else, because if you keep planting, seeds into this soil and it's not producing nothing, how many times you can't keep planting in it. You got to move from out of that.
Yeah.
I'm saying nothing that you're bringing is bringing forth life for you. So now, because it's not bringing forth life, that means it's bringing forth death.
Yeah.
Most I said is life and there's death. He didn't say anything about it in between.
Yes,
There's
no.
life and there's death. There is no in between. There's no gray area, right? Man
You're
created
right.
this gray area,
That's
right?
right.
Life and death. You know what I'm saying? Between these two right here, you can find what's your substance. Is your substance death or your substance life? And if
Hmm.
your substance life, if you're saying you're a life force and you're a life being and you're here to produce life, that means you're producing life for everything and everybody.
Everybody.
Once
Everybody.
you get to the notion that this one has more purpose to have life and love as opposed to this one, you lose your life and your love and also your light. And the one thing that I've learned personally is that you do not want to lose your light.
That's right.
You can lose everything else in the world, but if you lose your light, oh, you're going to have some serious problems on your hand. You're going to have to find some strategic ways to get yourself back to your light. And if you don't, you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer in ways that you could have never imagined.
Yes, that is so important, and that's why when it comes down to the work that you're doing and reaching out to people, the work that I'm doing, reaching out to people, it's important for us to continue to reach out to people, even though, and you're going to run into this, even though people may not receive you, people may
That's
not
right.
respond the way you think they should respond.
That's
People don't
okay.
respond warmly as they should or as you would like for them to do. See, that's what I'm saying. I share this with my children. A better me makes a better you. Okay. As I get better and better, you can't help but get better and improve. Okay. Because I'm getting better around you. And that's so
Yeah.
important for us to understand, is to keep getting better, to keep improving. I used to say this all the time. I'm always reinventing myself.
Always. You have to.
You know,
You have to.
it's just a need to. And I know we're probably running out of time, but
Yeah,
you know,
but we got like 10 more minutes, but it's really been a very engaging, conversation. We didn't have to do a lot of questions and answers because we're answering the questions and as we're going along, right?
yeah,
Because we're moving on positive energy, we're feeding off each other energy, and we're allowing ourselves to be open and free in this conversation.
that's right. It's
And
called flow. It's called flow.
yeah, it's a natural flow, man, a
Yes,
natural
sir.
flow. And
Yes, sir.
I believe in life, when you're moving through life, you have to have a natural flow for it because it was naturally given to you. But we can't forget that it was given to us as a gift,
It's a gift.
right? Regardless of what curse that comes upon you in the land, it's a curse against your gift, which is life. If you allow a curse to come against your life, you lose it.
Yes,
No curse. I don't care what curse it is. I don't care what shackles that man has created, what dungeons that he has built. No gift, none of those curses can actually sustain your gift.
that's right.
You can elevate. Listen, man, I was up in Clinton, Morrow, all the way up in Canada, right? You see how dark I am, right? Ain't nothing up there but what rednecks, man. It's only up there but white people, man. You know what I mean?
Mm,
That's what we call me, all white people. And no matter what dorm I went to, no matter what place I went to, right? I always made friends with the officers. They always like me. They always be like, "Hey, man, Mr. Evans, let me come talk to you, Mr. Evans. I need you to do this for me, do this for me, this for me, and then I'm gonna do this for everybody in the dorm if you do this for me." And I'm like, okay, that's good. Why? Because you tap into your gifts.
yes,
And when you tap into your gifts, others are going to be able to see those gifts and going to be able to assist you with increasing those gifts. But you
yes,
have to be wide open to understand that you are the gift, not the things that you obtain, not the things you have done, not the people that you know, but that you are the gift for your own life.
mm-hmm.
Right?
So true.
Yeah, because when you don't see the gift of you lose it to a thing. And there are too many things out here to lose yourself into. There are 1,000 things out here. You don't want to lose yourself into a thing. You don't want to say, like one time I was in Manhattan, I was on 34th Street, and there was some car, it was a black car, the car was gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? Really gorgeous car. I said, whoa, it's a nice car. And as I'm walking, the car was blocking the sidewalk. So I had to like skirt around the car, but I didn't have that much room. And the man in the car was watching me to make sure that I don't bump the car. And my energy told me if I bump the car, me and this man gonna have an altercation. And I was afraid or aware of not to bump that man's car
Mm-hmm.
because he had took that car and placed it over a value of me.
That's right.
he has convinced himself that that car was more valuable than me, and I read that spirit, and it saved me from getting an altercation. He could have probably jumped out that car and took my life because I bumped into his car, right? Because he put so much value into that car,
into that thing,
that he belittled me.
Yes.
And I said, I'm a life source. I could destroy this car anytime I want to. How could this car be greater than me? You know, and those things like that, they trigger you in the land, and they start letting you know that, yo, man, you have a higher purpose, bro. You have a higher substance for yourself. Don't let any of these things that come towards you belittle you in any form or fashion. You're greater than all these things that's coming against you. And they're coming against you because you're greater than them.
Absolutely.
That's the reason why they're coming against you, because they have determined that you are greater than them, and they want to show the universe that you are not. So they come with you with all type of weirdness to uproot you from your path. They bring so many things into your space, and when it causes you to lose hope, you know, it has actually won the battle against you until you tap back in and say, you know what, man, I shouldn't let that thing have its way with me like that. And now once you make once you have that introspection, you're able to move past that situation. But you have to get to a point where you're saying that I am greater than all these things that I have, all these things that I will achieve, and all these things that come against me. If you don't, then you're not going to be at peace with yourself.
That's right.
So you'll get angry at anything. You become explosive at anything. You'll challenge all things that surround you. You won't let nothing breathe. You know, you won't let blessings that come to you be able to enter into the door. You stop the blessings before they even get into the door. Right? You got to open that door wide open, which is you, and let all this stuff come in you, man. And if it ain't good, you got to move it. But if it's good, you want to cultivate it. You want to increase it. You want to share with others so they can remember that you had this gift and you gave this gift. So if one day you need that gift, they could come back and say, I remember you gave me this gift, Mr. Evans. I remember you gave me this gift, Mr. Dr. Love. Take this gift back. Right? Because we're about cultivating. Right? You can have 1,000 seeds. You can take 1,000 seeds and put them in your hand. They're never going to grow. They're not going to go anywhere. You can put water in your hand. You can put dirt in your you can grow. And they ask,
Brother Nate, I think the signal is changing or something. Brother Nate, you still there?
Going on. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, back on.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, back on. I don't know what happened, but
it's technology. You know? It's all the technology.
That's it. Yeah, man. So
things happen.
Yeah, we had to look at simple things, like even what Solomon was saying in the Bible. He was saying, yo, listen, man, investigate the earth. Go out into the earth and investigate the earth. Go talk to the trees. Go talk to the plants. You know what I'm saying? Go talk to the animals. Go talk to the insects. Even go talk to the earth itself, so you can get a clearer and deeper understanding of what you are and what your essence is, so you can move forth in your full power. You want to move forth in your full power. You don't want nothing to hinder you. You don't want no anchor on you. I don't care where the anchor came from. You don't want it, and you don't need it either. You're not missing anything. An anchor does have done nothing for anybody except stop a ship from crashing into the shore. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with you moving forward. You don't need no anchors on you. You don't need no structure that's on top of you that's going to move you out the way. You have the power to move all those things out the way. Don't
Smooth.
allow those things to come in and crowd you in and lock you into unfamiliar spaces and to take away the blessings that have been rightfully given to you. No one has given you the gift of life. This has been given to you by your higher power, by the universe, whatever you identify with. I don't know what people identify with.
Yes.
But
yeah. Whatever you identify.
Whatever you identify with, it has been given to you on purpose. You are on purpose. You're not a mistake. You're not a mishap in the earth. You're here for a reason, a specific reason. You got to find that reason. You got to tap into that reason, and you got to become that reason.
Yes, so important.
So important, man. So important, man. And I believe as men, as you and I, as men in the land, they call us black or whatever they want to call us, but you and I, as men in the land, we have a responsibility.
Yes.
To cultivate one another and to increase one another and to ensure that if we in one another's space, that we do not allow one another to fall for any reason.
That's right.
Any reason. If you go into Matthew chapter 25, and the Most High talking about separating the sheep from the goat, if you read that scripture in depth, you will understand what he mean by sheep and what he mean by goat. Right? You don't want to be the goat. Don't take on goat principles. Don't take on goat concepts. You don't want to be the goat. The goat went to hell. You don't want to go. You don't want to go to hell with the goat. The goat can go down there by himself. I don't want the goat. I want the lamb.
Yeah.
The lamb went to heaven.
That's right. That's right. You got to be a teachable, reachable spirit. You know what I'm saying? You got to be teachable. Right. You got to be reachable. Right. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
That is so important just to get yourself, just to humble yourself. You know what I mean?
Just to humble yourself, man. And when you humble yourself, it comes with an innate power that you never even thought you had.
Yes.
It's like somebody, it was one phrase I used to use when people used to say something to me. I said, listen, man, let me go. Let me run like the wolves. Right? And I would say that to them. Sometimes people take it the wrong way, but I would say that to them, listen, I'm free. Let me move freely. I'm a free being. I don't like to stop and start. I want to move. Let me move. If you hire me in your organization, you hire me because you want me to move. You don't want me to sit behind your desk. You don't want me to do it because that's not my spirit. My spirit is not that being.
That's
right. You need to find that spirit to sit behind a desk. I'm not that spirit. I'm a spirit that's going to move. I'm going to change things. I'm going to move things out of my way. I'm going to start shifting the earth. I'm going to start shifting the field. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get some diamonds and rubies out of this thing right here. Yes. I'm trying to bring some gold to the light. I'm trying to cultivate the lives of other men and women. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to that golden principle that's inside of them. You know what I'm saying? To let them know they have purpose to be golden because they are gold because gold exists within our bodies, right? So we want to be able to use our lives on a metaphysical level, you know what I'm saying, to challenge the norm because we're not the norm. We're not the norm.
That's right.
We're not this physical element that you identify with. We're not that individual. We have surpassed that. Before we came into the earth, we surpassed that physical element because we came here first as a spirit and then developed in this physical form to house ourselves in.
That's it. Yep, that's good. Brother Nate, I got another call that I got to get ready to jump in on.
Yeah, no problem.
At 9:27:28. So
okay, we got 2 minutes. Basically say your last sayings about your event, your book. Basically people could reach out to you.
Yes.
Your email is here so they can reach out to you if they want to get in contact with you and stuff like that.
We're having an event Saturday called Exercising Love with Dr. Love. Exercising Love. You know what I'm saying? Such a great concept. We're going to have a great time. It's going to be this Saturday, May the 21st at 2 p.m. You can attend the event live or you can attend it virtual. It'll be streamed to my YouTube channel. So anybody anywhere can come and tune in. This is my first event since the pandemic that we're doing, and it's guaranteed to be a blast.
Awesome.
Information email me. We have a flyer
Yep.
circulating out. Brother Nate got me a flyer created.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Love the
send it out
flyer.
too.
You
I'm
know
gonna
what
send
I'm
it
saying?
out.
Send the flyer out. Tune
That's right.
in because it's going to be just a great event, and you're going to be blessed just attending. And I would be happy and blessed just to have you to attend. So this is Dr. Love saying I look forward to you attending
That's
the
right.
event. And if you can't make this one, you'll make the next one. But let's at least be connected.
Let's be connected. This is Dr. Love again. It's Nathaniel Evans, the host of Alma Data Podcast. And we just here to basically bring life, bring love, and understand that, we are in this together. And the
Yes.
support system's out here for us to basically rechannel our energy and bring us to a higher purpose. And with that, be well, guys, and take care.
Peace.
Peace, brother.